Good evening. I need to make a real quick video this afternoon to introduce this week's assignment for you, which is to watch a full-length movie and then write a manic paper in responding to the movie. And in order for you to do that, I have to make this introductory video. This video is going to introduce you to something you probably heard little of in the past, maybe nothing of. Unless you're a science major going into the sciences and you've had physics and you've heard the word quantum mechanics or quantum physics, or sometimes you'll hear it just in social media or whatever. Quantum physics is a sort of a new day physics. Newtonian physics is the physics you learned in high school that has to do with gravity and magnetism, heat, thermal laws of thermodynamics. And the laws that govern nature and govern the world as we know it. Quantum mechanics is something that came out of basically the 20th century, early 20th century, with some early quantum physicists, or at that time just physicists. And I'm going to include a mathematician, Albert Einstein, in with that group, who was instrumental in developing some quantum theory. Now, having said all that, I don't want to scare you off. First off, you don't have to know one thing about quantum physics to take this course, not one. Secondly, you don't know one thing about quantum physics to take this course, not one. That's both one and two. Don't have to know anything about physics itself, although physics walks hand in hand with philosophy in a lot of cases, and I find that physics helps me to understand philosophy, and philosophy helps me to understand physics. Just like religion and philosophy walk hand in hand, and the more I learn about religion, it seems to help me in philosophy, and the more I learn about philosophy, it seems to help me understand religion better. So religion, physics, and philosophy are three paths to the truth. We can even, if we broaden physics out to science in general, we can say physics or science in general apprehends truth through experimentation and mathematics. Religion apprehends truth through faith or belief, and philosophy apprehends truth through reason or just thinking. So you have these three sisters, as it were, both pointing to a single thing called truth up here. And I believe, my personal belief is that it's the same truth that all three are pointing to, but we won't get into that right now. What I do need to do is say a word about quantum mechanics or quantum physics. Now, this will include relativity theory here, and I'm not going to start talking about relativity theory and say relativity theory says this and it says that. It says a lot of things. But let me simplify it, and for the film you're going to watch. Newtonian physics is good physics. It's sound physics. It's physics by which the world as we know it runs. You can count on it. The mathematics behind Newtonian physics are sound mathematics. On the other hand, whereas Newtonian physics talks about everything that we can see around us and how it all fits together, how the planets revolve around us, and how gravitational pull draws things this way or that, how heat is transferred, energy, those kinds of things. And Newtonian physics is spot on for that. But here's a funny thing. That works fine till you get down to the atomic level. And when you're dealing with a single atom and the construction of an atom and what an atom is and what it's made up of and how the particles that form that atom are, how they exist, you're talking about a subatomic world here. So you're talking about two things. You're talking about the world as we know it, and a subatomic world. World as we know it, Newtonian physics, Isaac Newton, pure and simple. Subatomic world, quantum mechanics. And the theory and the mathematics that underlie quantum physics at a subatomic level are no less sure, certain, and true than the physics and the mathematics that govern the world that we can see. Now, having said that, the film you're going to be watching is What the Bleep Do We Know Anyway? And what it will do is introduce you to some things that on the quantum level that will be new to you, like entanglement and superposition, and I could go on and on and on. That really, it's almost like science fiction, but it's not. Let me assure you, it's not. The mathematics is there. It just is. And so when you hear these things, see these things, know that this is just not a bunch of people who are coming up with ideas that off the top of their head that it makes no sense or whatever else. Now these are smart people, and people that have integrity and high standing in the world of physics and the world of religion and the world of philosophy. And they don't have anything to gain by making up some fantasy world. That what they're describing is just as real on a quantum level as the fact that I'm going to go in here and eat supper in a few minutes, I hope, on the level that we can see and feel and hear and taste and smell. So that's my introduction, and I wish you well. And by the way, you'll write a manic paper on this, and I want to be sure that you have watched the movie, number one, that you have tried to understand it, number two, and that you can relate that understanding to me in an intelligent way, number three. That's what I'll be looking for. So long.